Hello all, this is Halloween, and if you love haunted history and cemeteries as much as I do, you may want to subscribe because I'm going to be taking you somewhere new every week. In today's episode, we're headed out to Crystal River to visit the Red Level Cemetery. This cemetery was established in the 1800s and is the final resting place for a lot of the pioneers of the Crystal River area. Enjoy! We've arrived at Red Level Cemetery in Crystal River. Let's go in and see what we can see. So at the end of a road here that dead ends right over there in an open field. And there's quite a ways down with nothing but trees canopying in the road. At the end of that road and on the left-hand side is the Red Level Cemetery, established in 1862. It has 433 burials. And I was reading online that a lot of pioneers are buried here. Pioneers of this area. So, got a Woodbury. This looks like a very new headstone, but the latest burial in this family plot is 1976. So it's not that new. If your last name is Cannon, you might have family here. This is a Cannon family plot. There's 6 burials here, and there are probably some more throughout the cemetery. Priest is a big name in this cemetery. We've got Jordan. So these are a lot of family plots, it looks like, and there's a lot of old headstones that look really cool. Look right over there, those really tall old headstones, and they're still in such great shape, so that's really neat. Here is an Edwards family here. There's 3 of them here in a row, so that's another big name. I see another Priest over there, and another Edwards, and a lot of Edwards. So if your last name is Edwards, you could have family buried here. These are cool. This is such a peaceful cemetery. I don't know if you can hear just how quiet it is and peaceful. It's at the end of this road here. There's no visitors here or anything. You don't have the sounds of the busy street. Very, very peaceful. Look at all of these old headstones. This one is 1907. Virginia B. Miller and J.L. Miller. E.W. Priest, another big name, 1895. Look how great a shape that headstone is in. It's amazing. And you know, there's not a lot of trees here. So, I mean, it's been exposed to the elements and they've held up really well. This is all the Priest family here. As far as you can see, except for in that back row, this is all these old headstones are the Priest family. 1888, 1904, 1890. I think that might be a baby. Yep. Aged 2 months and 7 days. family is a pioneer family of Citrus County. And actually 2 of the Priest family members served as sheriffs in the beginning times of the county. And one, J.C. Priest, was actually the first sheriff to serve when the county was established in 1887. So he's probably buried somewhere here in this little area, or maybe somewhere throughout the cemetery here. There are a lot of priests here, and they're kind of spread about. Here we have an obelisk. This is a Miller. I've seen another Miller, so Miller is a big name here as well. All 4 of these monuments here are Miller. So that's got to be another pioneer family. Yeah, I'm really just fascinated with this area. I've been in there a little too long. I've got to see the rest of the cemetery. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. The Edwards family, they're pioneers as well. Miller family. It looks like a lot of family plots. There's a couple more priests over there, newer burials. This was intriguing when I saw this walking in. This sort of old wall around a plot. More Edwards and another Miller. A John H. Miller. Lulu Edwards. We got a Mariah Edwards. Mariah! That's interesting because I didn't realize that name dated back so far. You know, Mariah Carey, you know, she's a very popular singer. And I thought, wow, you know, growing up, that was such a cool name. Dates back to the 1800s. Bet you didn't know that. That's pretty cool. I've seen some Winns in here, W-I-N-N. Yeah. Here's another really old headstone here. Let's see the date on that. Another October too. October 1883. Cool. Yeah, my husband was like, I don't really get the way you go around the cemetery. I don't understand it. Like, because I don't go any particular order. The first thing I'm drawn to is what I go to immediately. It's kind of like when I'm in the grocery store. It takes me like 2 hours to grocery shop because I'm going down one aisle and then I forget that I need something else in that aisle, but by that time I'm down 5 aisles down. I gotta go back to that aisle. Yeah, I zigzag, but whatever. I get it done, you know? I was really drawn to that priest section because that's where all the oldest headstones are. That family goes way back to the 1800s. Early 1800s even. They were already established here and they were passing away in the mid and late 1800s. So you're going to see a lot of these headstones with the hands on the top. They all signify something different. This one in particular is basically a greeting into heaven. So shaking hands maybe with God, but that's what that means. Mary E. Williams, born July 9th, 1844, died May 4th, 1915, aged 70 years. I love when it does the math for you like that, because math is not my strong suit. All right. Yes, the Williams family is another big name here. There's not a whole lot of different names. You got the Williams, you got the Edwards, the priests. You know, it's a lot of really large families dating way back. Here we have a Parker. I saw Miller. So it's just a few families. You may even have to be one of the family's descendants to be buried in here, I would think. Here is a Weaver family plot here. Josephine, Roger, Rudolph, Nathan, and gosh, Creola? Looks like Creola. Isn't that neat, that little sort of wall that they've built around this plot? It looks so old. It looks like it's 1,000 years old. Here's another priest. (1867). Winn, the Winn family, W-I-N-N, are buried here. It's a small cemetery, but a lot to see. A lot of history here. A lot of pioneers from the area buried here, and a lot of really neat and unique old headstones. So if you're in the Crystal River area and you want to come see a historic cemetery, this is one you're going to want to check out. That does it for this one. I'll see you at the next one. We're here at Cup Brewing in Crystal River. Gonna go in and get a drink. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I think this cemetery in Crystal River was probably my favorite. I really love the African American cemetery too, so they're kind of, I don't know, maybe it's a tie. But I always love a cemetery rich in pioneer history, and this was very much that. A lot of the families buried in this cemetery were very clearly pioneers of the area for one reason or another. So there were definitely some common names, and I just think that's so cool. Sometime 100 years ago, people were standing there in 1800s garb to attend a service, and I'm standing there in that same spot. I just think that's kind of cool. I don't know. I don't know if y'all get that kind of feeling too. It almost, being in the cemetery and standing where they stood, it almost takes you right back to those times. And I think that's something that's very cool about the cemeteries that we visit. If you loved today's episode, please remember to like, subscribe, and share the video. It does help the channel out, and it's free. So that does it for today's episode. I'll see you next time.